I'm not taking my sneakers off. I am Sneakers O'Toole.
Yo, what up, chuds and chudettes? I'm Mr. Egg.
And I like chicken tenders.
And welcome to Egg-Tism,
The show where we deep dive into FNAF fan games to replenish our thirst for good FNAF content.
and today we'll be covering Oblitus Casa, made by Radiance.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
It's a challenging and sexually ambiguous fan game about a mouse and his human lover.
We'll be ranking based on 6 categories on a scale of 1 to 10, starting with So I really like the designs of the characters. I think they're really detailed. They have a lot of grit and depth to them, supported by their grainy texture, I guess. I do like the Hourglass remade design compared to the original, and I enjoy the added tentacles to Mother.
The original as in the Radiance Treasure Island remake, not the green one. Side note.
Although the OG Hourglass beats all of them combined. But my favorite character is probably as basic as it is, Mick. I feel like he's the most eerie due to how distorted he is. But for design, surprisingly enough, I think it's the Forgotten, despite the fact that he's a Easter egg character. I don't know, he feels...
the Forgotten
He has
one.
a certain charm to him compared to all the other ones, which are a lot of the times just black. They just feel like very dirty.
Nah, my co-host just might be the stupidest person I've ever met. I'm gonna kill this guy. I hate him.
I guess what reinforces that is the lighting, because not only are they super like dark and like messed up and black, but the lighting only just makes them like blacker. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah, I think they did better with other games, like for starters, their actual like first remake of fnati, and then they Chuck E. Cheese, which we discussed. I like the designs in that way more. So, main things, pretty good models. Lighting is too dark, and the resolution is very crunchy.
Yeah, for whatever reason, and I know this was a bigger problem in version 1 of Oblitus Casa, which we will be referencing a few times, especially for gameplay. And I know maybe that may have been intentional, because there are some games, I forgot the name of it, but it's like a Tubbyland game, and one of the other Five Nights at Treasure Island games that Radiance made are intentionally super grainy. But this one doesn't feel like it's supposed to be grainy, and oftentimes that actually leads to its downfall. I just feel like a lot of the detail is just lost. Anyways, something that I do have a problem with, as much as I really like the models, the biggest problem for me was just the jump scares. A lot of them felt like rapid fire, like just gunshots. They were too quick, they were way close to your face, and in reference with how dark the lighting is and how black all the characters are, it just made it so like it's just a blob that just appears in your screen. So oftentimes you can't tell, but the best one, and the main reason is because of how bright the character is, was Mick. Not only were the animations really good, but the fact that you could actually see the character really helped with it.
Hey dude, just wanted to let you know the pizza's ready. I'm sorry. Bedtime?
And even in like other, like for example in the post-mortem, a lot of the jump scares just looked like you took them into Photoshop and you just said, how about we brighten it, like artificially brighten it, instead of like relighting the jump scare in whatever, like what a Blender or Maya.
Why are you blue?
Instead of just raising the light values, it just looks like they took it into Photoshop, just slapped in like the I don't know the name. I forgot the name. The thing that makes it brighter, and just brightened it up.
Brightness?
And then the bright. I don't know.
Just brightness?
Yeah, just the bright. Shut up! Shut up! And it just makes the black looks gray instead of the black staying black like it should be. And the white just looks way too white. Why are her gloves so white and why is she so like black? Especially since if you look at the background, the entire background is black. She should have a rim light around the left side of her where the window is, if anything. So, you know, how about we say this? The lighting needs a little bit more work. Primarily around the jump scares and with like post-mortem, especially because post-mortem is just hell, and we will talk about that even more later.
I think I forgot to say this. I like how you can see what Cam 9 is actually like going on outside your window.
Yeah, like when you attract Mick or any of the other characters. I've never seen that in a game. That's really cool. Anyways, unfortunately, I think on this case, the like just the resolution and then like the really weird jump scares just kind of tanked the score. So I'd have to give it a 6 out of 10. Even with how great the models were, I just think that there were too many problems that just ruined it for me.
Yeah, I feel like they could have done much better considering Radiance's other work.
They made
because they can do amazing. Yeah, because they can do amazing stuff. But for this one, it's not it, Coach.
Yeah.
6 out of 10 as well.
All right. Well, next up, we're moving on to our favorite category. So for a lot of FNAF fan games, the voice acting could just be a make or break kind of situation. And unfortunately for Oblitus Casa, it's pretty right? A lot of characters like Dippy, Mickey, sorry. Well, Minnie too, actually. Shade, Oswald, and a lot of the other characters just have really, really muffled and like heavily filtered voices. Not a lot of the times you end up just not understanding what they say. Luckily there are a few characters like Willie and Mick that have really good voices. You can actually understand when they say stuff like, "Where's my boat?" or whatever the hell.
Where's my boat?
So kudos to that, even with the filters, which I think actually made them better.
I also want to add that I really like Mother's voice in this game, and I really like how she references the original fnati. Want to see my head come off?
Hey, wanna see my head come off?
Wanna see my head come off?
They did do pretty good work on what they had. It's just that for me, there's not enough.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe I think that's the thing. I don't think you could tell, because there's characters. There's all of the characters in this game have voices. It's just you don't understand what they say. It just ends up sounding like. There's a lot of voice acting, but just not good ones, except for Mother and Mick and Willie. And I'm sad to say this, Greg does not make a return. No Greg, no phone guy. Which honestly, I'm gonna say that I think them not having a phone guy makes this better. But again, will be brought up in gameplay.
I mean, they did have the intro where it was like the guy talking to us.
That's true. I forgot about
I guess.
that. The therapist, I assume.
Today is December 1st, 2004. This is Dr. Jared Rowley speaking, and my patient's name is Jake Smith. As per authoritative requests, all sessions with Mr. Smith from this point forward will be recorded for use in the Discovery Island case.
He had a good voice.
Okay, so for ambience, I really like the knocking sound from the attic. It's really good designed audio cue. And I like the head wobbling of the face just absolutely tweaking out when you look at him.
Yeah, it's like oddly satisfying. I do like how the night starts off with like a clock chime. It makes it a lot eerier. And I say this in every single one of them, but all the other games have like different music boxes, and this one was pretty cool.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it.
It wasn't like a FNAF 1 music box or anything. What? It wasn't like a FNAF 2 music. Can we restart?
No.
Okay, fine. It wasn't like a FNAF 2 music box. I liked it. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Good. It's always been good.
Yeah, decent. 7 out of 10.
out
Alright,
of 10.
let's move on.
Yeah, move on.
Story. So the story is really unique. I like how in the intro we learned about Greg and Lisa from Fnati were just slimed out. The beginning sequence is also a really good way of telling the story, and it caught my interest. It's not really anything special, but it's a pretty decent way to transition to us being at the casa or the cabin.
Yeah. I guess what I don't like is that we kind of don't get too much story. Like for example, by the end of night 4 on the tunnels, we end up getting a cutscene of us burning Hourglass, though it's all just like super weird because through all of the tunnels this guy has been a murder machine, right? Like imagine Venom, like the head chomping menace that he is suddenly cowarding from some random scrawny dude, right? I'm telling you right now, there's no food, there's no edible food in the cabin. This guy is scrawny, starving, and there's no way that Hourglass would be afraid of him. And I know that they say it's the same thing that they say about the FNAF movie, that it's just children inside the suits, it's just children. But you know what, I don't really know that, because in the original fnati game, right, it was said that it was just regular workers in costumes who were killed by Jake. It was never explained to me other than in the mother, like the super freaking long 4-minute mother cutscene that follows.
Nobody cares!
You stupid cunt, shut your fucking mouth. Oh my god, shut up, 1,000,000 times shut up. I'm going to kill you. Shut up. Nobody cares.
It was like, they were just children. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's been trying to kill me.
Yeah, and wasn't
Spider-Man, why'd you kill that guy? I did it. He killed himself.
Yeah, wasn't he like? Yeah, he was a behemoth of all like the creatures from the first game, so I don't understand why he wasn't able to just kill us right away when we backed him into a corner.
Yeah.
Although it was my favorite part of the game, because he deserved that. I really liked it.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 event.
10 out of 10. Other than the fact that it just didn't make any sense. I didn't mention it in artwork. I just didn't like the animation of him like burning. It looked like as a matter of fact, since I'm a source filmmaker animator, I could do it. It looks like when you raise, I think it was like stagger or jitter volume on like a bone, and it just starts shaking. That's exactly what it looked like. It looked super goofy. But the next cutscene that follows, the mother cutscene, it wasn't anything special. It was just like her explaining like, oh, how dare you kill them, you came into my world and you killed my children. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? I swear they said like that we were just like working there like as an intern or something. I remember they said it in the original, not the remaster. I remember they said it in the original. I don't remember exactly what it was in the remaster. I'm pretty sure it was that we were an intern there. And then all the suits just start coming alive and trying to kill us. I'm like, okay, so why do I care about you and your pity? I don't care about your mother. And then that, after you beat night 5, you get like that really weird cutscene with Mick burning. Just like, okay, so story, didn't understand it, really no explanation. And Radiance, with all due respect, you guys have been making posts on Game Jolt about like, oh, well, our games don't, our original Treasure Island game didn't tell a good story. I'm like, not a lot of your games tell good stories. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't understand the story of any of your games, and I don't really blame you for Treasure Island, because Treasure Island has probably the worst FNAF lore I have ever looked into. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. My point is the story is not really good. I give it like a 6 out of 10.
It's a 6.5 out of 10 for me. I will add that for the ending, I do agree with you completely. But for me, it wasn't just weird. It's just I just felt nothing.
Yeah. Wow. We won. Cool.
Moving on to the most important part.
No, there it goes again. No, not my day, my friend. No, laugh it off, don't cry. No, just another try. No.
So the usual phone call in this game was replaced with a notepad this time. The mechanics are luckily simple and help you understand much simpler than a 10-minute phone call of nothing burger info. The night shifts are actually pretty good, having to lure away each mascot away from your room while erasing I forgot her
Belial.
name. Belial, and taking on the addict proves to be pretty challenging. It's the kind of challenge you enjoy if you liked FNAF 2. My favorite night is actually, I think, the final night, even though it took me a lot of tries. I feel like that was the most
rewarding.
The time I was most engaged in the game.
Yeah. I guess the only thing I don't really like about the night shifts, though it's kind of something minor because there's a lot of fan games that do it and I tend to like them, is that a lot of the characters have pretty repetitive mechanics. Willie and Dippy are both audio lured with very minor like speed difference. And Daisy and Photonegativemickey, despite the fact that they're both like one kills you, one doesn't, they're both countered with like flashes. At the end of the day, I do, despite the fact that it's kind of the same mechanics every single night, it is still, like Axolotl said, having to manage all of the mechanics at once can be very difficult and ends up being pretty engaging. So minigames has been one of the biggest like oopsie daisies in our eyes, and we've been like going back and forth between what we feel about it, but at the end of the day, I don't think that we could really send it off home without bringing in a special guest. If you haven't noticed, he's been sitting right next to us on this table this whole time. So, you know, how would you come out, little buddy? How about you start speaking about it? You've been so passionate about it this whole time.
Okay, jeez. My bad. Damn. Okay. Well, hi. I'm Jay. Okay, let's talk about the tunnels. I hate the tunnels. I hate everything about it. But there are some things I like about it. First, Hourglass is there. Again, I like Hourglass. I think he's a cool addition to the whole remaster, the thing that Radiance is doing. That's pretty cool. I like how dark the tunnels are, how dark and cramped and almost endless they are, which gives lots and lots of detail to the atmosphere, and how getting chased by this demon that's almost like camouflaged in the dark is also, it's a really great feeling. Good things aside, there are bad things. I hate the controls. I hate the way it plays. The controls aren't that great. You move around with your mouse, and you also use your mouse to go forward, which is really fucking weird, and shift is your run button. Shifting your run button is fine. That's great. My problem is, why am I not only turning with my mouse, but why am I running, like choosing where to go with my mouse? Like, you could just make it to where it's just the arrow keys. Like, arrow keys, shift, like it's a platformer game.
Or like WASD.
Very easy. Yeah, or WASD even. It's very simple. It's very easy. Because with the mouse, my main man, Jack over here, playing Call of Duty with an aim sensitivity of 3, is turning so slow in these corridors.
It's Jake.
Whatever.
It's Jake. You're a fake fan.
Jack, Jill, whatever. But he's turning so slowly when the main way to get rid of this guy is to turn fast and keep running.
I do also want to add how, I don't know why, but like running, you'd think that in like a stealth kind of mini game, you'd think running would have like a repercussion, especially since it's optional, right? Like it's not enabled by default. or like, you know, some games have it so you just automatically run, like mouse pi for hire, you're just automatically at like a running state. But like for some reason Hourglass doesn't really seem maybe he is, and it's just extremely ineffective, but it doesn't seem like, you know, mainly because of Hourglass's slow ass speed. You'd think he's faster, but he's not. Hourglass doesn't seem to be lured by like running. I feel like there's no repercussion to just running. You could just run the whole time.
It's very slow. I hate the controls. They're so clunky. And unlike Postmortem, which is essentially optional besides night 1, the tunnels you have to do 4 times, where there's not really any difference besides the door spawn.
And like, I guess there are just like maybe 2 more rows of tunnels. It's like, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, you're always gonna have to be in the outskirts. There's like no reason to ever go center.
Yeah, like there's no reason to. It's so simple. It's just like version 1. You can cheese it either way and you don't have to interact with the mechanics. You only have to read the instructions, which are very vague and very confused. But for as much as I hate the tunnels, I also hate Postmortem, which is what we're going to talk about next.
Oh, before we move on, there's something I'd like to add. And it's my experience with the tunnels. When I first played it, I always walked because I thought there's like some kind of repercussion for it, and I didn't really know what to do. I kept dying to him, and I felt like quitting, but I couldn't let him, you know, beat me. So I watched your walkthrough, and when I watched your walkthrough, and I did that night, it was so simple. I did immediately, but even then, it was still very, very tedious, and I'd rather just not do it.
Yeah, because the main problem, the instructions are just so garbage. It's the most nothing burger instructions ever.
Postmortem time. Oh boy. Night 1. You're about to win. 6 a.m. hits. Bam. Mother catches you. You're dragged into a location that looks similar to Treasure Island, to the remaster Fnati and another game. And basically you're told, hey, if you die, you get a chance to have a second life. Find these heads. We're also dealing with 5 other characters.
Get head.
And here's a whole new system you gotta learn, which inherently doesn't really matter. Basically, you have to sit in your office, you look for heads on the cameras, and you click on them, you get them on the heads, you go back to the attic, right where you were. You have the shades, which are the memories of the suits from Fnati 1, the remaster. Mickey and Oswald are like your Bonnie and Chica. They'll come to your door. When they're there, you use this plushie that you have and a pin needle for some reason, and you just pluck it. Goofy, he's kind of like a foxy. Well, not really. He'll come into your room through either of your sides. You need to flash him with a flashlight, because if you don't, then he'll take your plushie, and then Mickey and Oswald gank your ass. Minnie is one of those characters, you don't look at her in the cameras. If you do, she'll pull your camera down, appear in your office, and you just put them up immediately, and she'll go away. Donald, he will leave fake heads that will look like they're like spazzing the fuck out. If you click on it, Donald will do what he likes to do in this series and basically make loud noises and make it so that you can't do anything. You can't pick up the plushie, you can't use your cameras, you can't flash the lights, you can't do anything. Sadie is a new character. She is essentially a time limit to how long you have to get all your heads. If you don't get them all in time, she will just insta-kill you no matter what, and you can't do anything about it.
And one thing that I do have to point out with all those mechanics in mind is a lot of the characters, for example, Oswald and Mickey, they're just a pain in the ass because the game doesn't really give you, like, Postmortem doesn't give you a lot of time to even, like, see them. And on top of that, they're just not easy to see. In version 1, if you just die during the Postmortem, because, again, I don't want to do it, if you die in Postmortem and you do night 1 all over again, you get to beat it. In version 2, like, it just forces you to beat it. It keeps giving it to you, like, multiple times until you eventually beat it. But then, like, me beating it is like, okay, I understand what I have to do, but the mechanics with, like, the time limit for Sadie and with the bullshit spawns that are the heads, despite the fact that I understand what I'm supposed to do, it doesn't matter because the game is unfair. It's bullshit. And at the end of the day, you might as well just kill yourself. I'll be completely honest. I'd rather die. I don't want to do it again. No.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's
mini games and night shifts aside, I'd have to give it the most disappointing score of a 4 out of 10. I understand that the night shifts were fun, but the mini games just killed it for me.
Yeah, for me, I had to give it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so moving on to...
Alright, for fun factor, the pacing breakers known as post-mortem in the tunnels end up just completely ruining the fun of the night sequences. Despite the fact that the night shifts are fun, you begin to wonder to yourself, why wouldn't I just download Five Nights at Treasure Islands instead? I know that the minigames in that one are just super basic and kind of nothing burger. By the end of the day, it's not interrupting my... Here's a good way I could put it. Postmortem and the tunnels are the ads you get in between each song you listen to. Unskippable ads. They're unskippable ads. The minigames in Five Nights at Treasure Islands are skippable or 5-second long ads. 3 out of 10. I did not enjoy this game too much other than the night shifts.
Yeah, night shifts carry the entire experience, but they don't carry a whole lot. 4 out of 10 for me.
And now we move on to...
Okay, so while the jump scares are a big step down from Final Fantasy Chuck E. Cheese and fnati, many of the models are actually really creepy, and they exceed the I'm Evil Mickey.exe kind of genre, and they really serve as great creepy enemies. I especially love Dippy and how he ran through the cabin window. And I really like how terrifying the attic can be. I actually enjoyed going in there, weirdly enough. And I liked... Restart. I enjoyed it because I liked seeing Mickey and Peaches ominously standing there. Even though I do think it's a terrible part of the game, the tunnels actually are quite eerie. I'd still say the fear factor was pretty decent. I give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback and also give it a 7 out of 10. Which leads us to the final score. So I'd have to give it a 55%.
For me, I give it a 59%. Like you said, it needs to be polished, but I'm not sure how to describe it. It's not completely sucky. It has its moments.
It's kind of mid.
Yeah, it's kind of mid, but it's a tiny bit lower than mid.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Shit
Radiance.
game.
We had a few good laughs, my friends, made a few memories. And although now the fun must end, I hope you see what you mean to me. You're all my neighbors and allies, and though it's time to part, as we traverse through lows and...
I don't even want you around me. I don't want you living in my apartment. And I will never want you around me. And I will never want you living in my... Hello?